records show MMA collected tens of millions of dollars from insurance companies that never went to the homeowners. Now, the FBI and the Louisiana State Police are investigating MMA and Apex for what state officials call the largest home insurance fraud in Louisiana history.
After years of protest and legal action,
that wood was right here. Y'all wrap that and put it away, huh?
The residents of Gordon Plaza are in the final chapter of this story.
This is, what we fought for, so we're here in progress.
At Dennis's Seafood in Metairie, crawfish aren't the only critters.
Newt invited us back to his corner where he hangs out at the shop all day.
Nudy the Nutria has a pretty easy gig.
He's good. He really is good. He's just like a dog.
As journalists, we often find there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that was the case with Russell. He had some developmental delays, but through his family's morning routine of simply turning on the TV, Russell found his voice.
Through him watching the news and him wanting to repeat the news, kind of helped him find his words.
Russell may have found his words watching us, but it wasn't the words at all that melted our hearts.
Hello, I'm Sharice Gibson. As we head into the new year, we're taking time to look back at some of the most memorable stories our staff produced in 2023. Some had us crying and some made us laugh. One in particular saw the conclusion of a decades-long fight for justice. But we begin with a story that exposed what investigators are calling the biggest case of home insurance fraud in state history. Here's our David Hammer.
Back in May, we told you about Slidell homeowner Nicole Smith.
So the roof damage on the back of my roof is up there next to the vents.
Her roof was damaged in a hailstorm last year. Then a salesperson for Apex Roofing and Restoration knocked on her door.
And then one day, Apex just showed up at my door, ready to do a quote, because they were right next door. They saw the damage.
Smith agreed to hire the Alabama Roofing Company. That's when the Apex salesperson told her she needed to sign up with a lawyer to make sure her insurance company paid up. She signed this attorney employment contract with a Texas law firm called McClenny Mosley & Associates, MMA.
I thought it was a normal practice for just that the company was using with the issues that insurance has been having everywhere nowadays.
Right. So, but what did you find out later about that document?
Well, I found out that it was actually MMA supposedly representing me.
In fact, MMA was Apex's attorney. Federal judges, the Louisiana Supreme Court, and the Louisiana Insurance Department all found that MMA was using Apex to sign up clients so the law firm could collect millions of dollars in insurance proceeds. In May, we got this exclusive secret recording of MMA's owner, Zach Mosley, admitting the scheme to his own employees.
If we tell the insurance company we represent the roofing company, they're going to tell us to off and they're not going to ever negotiate with us. But since we have the rights of the homeowner, let's tell the insurance company we are the homeowner and that's going to be, they'll negotiate with us quicker, that they'll pay us faster.
Now, the FBI and the Louisiana State Police are investigating MMA and Apex for what state officials call the largest home insurance fraud in Louisiana history. The state police launched its criminal investigation last month based on 25 Apex customers whose insurance proceeds went to MMA but, quote, confirmed they never hired MMA to represent them. Apex denies it was ever part of a conspiracy to sign up clients for MMA and has sued MMA for malpractice. Peter Butler, an attorney for Apex, says Apex representatives never asked homeowners to sign employment contracts with MMA.
There is no attorney employment contract presented.
But court records show Apex employee Trish Drummond signed several MMA employment contracts OBO on behalf of homeowners. Homeowners who said they never even knew those contracts existed. In its lawsuit against MMA, Apex alleges Drummond was just following directions from its lawyer based on this email from an MMA paralegal on March 7, 2022, telling Drummond how to fill out the attorney employment contract for homeowners. But now, look at this attorney employment contract between MMA and a Hurricane Ida victim in Covington. It was auto-signed by Drummond on February 7th, a full month before MMA sent the email directing her to sign on behalf of homeowners. The client's name here is listed as Frankie Despino. He was Apex's legal director at the time. And the phone number listed for the client, it's the main number for Apex Roofing and Restoration. We spoke to two former Apex workers who said they were specifically directed to onboard clients for MMA and get them to sign contracts with the law firm. Dan Shaw trained Apex's salespeople, both the level 1 door knockers and the level 2s and 3s who closed the deals. He gave them scripts of what to say when they knocked on a door.
And then at the end, I'm going to send you a document to your email, e-sign it, and send it back.
He said he kept these training documents showing the level 2s and 3s were supposed to get the homeowners to sign forms MMA later used to negotiate with their insurance companies. When MMA got in trouble with the courts, Shaw said he got a frantic phone call from his manager at Apex.
Get the forms from the level 2s and the level 3s now. Lock them up in the back room.
He said he's embarrassed to have played a part in it.
It was told to us that they were our in-house lawyers.
Shelby Lacey started as a level 1 door knocker for Apex in January 2022. Over the next year, she worked her way up to a closer and a supervisor at Apex's Covington office.
Right after we get off the phone with the insurance, we would have to call MMA.
Last month, she sued Apex for breach of contract and unfair trade practices. Lacey alleges her compensation from Apex depended on whether she got customers to sign up with MMA or not. Let me get this straight. You could sign somebody up, get them to sign on the dotted line, and hire Apex, but you would lose money or not get paid as much money if they didn't also hire MMA.
Correct.
Court records show MMA collected tens of millions of dollars from insurance companies that never went to the homeowners.
David Hammer joins me now. David, your series of reports had far-reaching impacts, right?
Yeah, no, it started out just as a scandal in the legal community, and then there was a federal criminal investigation. But when we started doing these stories, thousands of people found out that their homeowners' insurance checks were hung up in this fraud. And we also were able to help launch a state criminal investigation that started based on our reporting. So absolutely it had a big impact, and people were able to learn that they'd been scammed.
All right, David, thank you. Your stories are so powerful and so impactful.
Thanks, Reese.
Up next on this WWL Louisiana special presentation, after decades of fighting for justice, how Gordon Plaza residents are finally getting a new lease on life. And the new trio that took Bucktown and social media by storm, a look back at how the legend of Nudy was born. Plus the story of one of our youngest viewers and how his love of the news has helped him connect with the world.
It was a fight until the bitter end, but Gordon Plaza residents finally won the battle to be moved off a federally declared Superfund site. The neighborhood had been built on the old Agriculture Street landfill, and many homeowners spent nearly 30 years calling for a fully funded relocation. For many of them, that day finally came in 2023.
This land that our houses is built on is a toxic landfill.
I found that I've been sick a lot more.
Our lives are in further risk.
Some of us have died. We're just gonna keep fighting, y'all.
After years of protest and legal action,
That wood was right here. Y'all wrap that and put it away, huh?
the residents of Gordon Plaza are in the final chapter of this story.
This is, what we fought for, though. We're here, progress. Hi, Sharice.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm glad to see it in this state.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a good thing now.
Yeah, is it?
It's a wreck, but it's a good wreck.
Jesse Perkins is leaving the home he once told us he purchased for his mother.
Home ownership was a big deal, too, especially for poor black people. I mean, we didn't have a lot coming from the Desire Project.
It's not if, it's when. I'm partying with, this is the first and only house that I could probably call my own, and I'm kind of attached. So now I'm like, okay, it's about to be some separation. But then I realized that, you know what, this is what we wanted, and you know what, so we have to embrace it, and I'm excited.
Excited that after years of demanding a fully funded relocation off the former Agriculture Street landfill,
I was gonna do it, but yeah, man, you can.
It's finally moving day.
All these years that we had to fight, all of the heartache, all the pain, I mean, that people had to go through to get the city to do the right thing.
But this day didn't come without challenges. After nearly 30 years of relentless fighting and protest, the New Orleans City Council finally agreed to allocate $35 million to relocate the remaining homeowners in Gordon Plaza. According to our partners at the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate, the median price was $335,000. This is after residents criticized the appraisal process and fought to select an appraiser of their choice. Jesse didn't share how much he was offered on his home, but says he is satisfied.
It's going to allow me to move forward and do the necessary things and those things that I desire to be able to do, that I am going to be in a healthy home of my choice.
The community promised to usher in a new wave of homeownership is now mostly a ghost town, haunted by the homes that was supposed to represent the American dream.
I don't know if this will be a victory in the sense of the word victory, because it's not going to bring anybody's loved ones back. What happened here shows the possibilities that if it happened here with us, then it could happen wherever. When we fight, we win.
So we cover this story from the very beginning, from the building of the Moton School, testing of the soil, and the outrage when the community learned they lived on toxic land. I was honored the community allowed me to pick up that coverage and press on this fighting issue, which led to these residents now getting a healthy home of their choice. After decades of fighting for what was rightfully owed to them, they are finally able to move forward. For some, they will continue to fight to make sure this doesn't happen again to another community in New Orleans. Up next on this WWL Louisiana special presentation, the viral vermin, a look back at how Nudy the Nutria became a national sensation. We all know nutrients destroy our marshes, and they get kind of a bad rap for that. But back in March, one Bucktown family said the rodent they rescued had grown into a spoiled, rotten celebrity. Reporter Lily Cummings was curious and wanted to see for herself. Here's her up-close and personal introduction to Nudy the Nutria.
At Dennis's Seafood in Metairie, crawfish aren't the only critters.
Newt invited us back to his corner where he hangs out at the shop all day.
Nudy the Nutria has a pretty easy gig.
He eats healthier than me.
He gets snacks and sometimes vanilla wafers for treats.
But he's good. He really is good. He's just like a dog. Nudy, meh. You serious?
However, his listening skills could be improved.
But he has his own little routine, though.
After work, he returns to Bucktown.
And he swims for about 2 hours in our saltwater swimming pool at my mom's house. And then he gets out, dries himself off, and waits by the back door to be let inside.
Severe weather, and where you think the rat is? Nudy! You know, it's raining and storming.
Nudy's life wasn't always this splendid. In fact, it started rather tragic. The Lacoste family found Nudy on Christmas Eve 2020.
I was coming back from work one day down West Esplanade, and he was just on the side of the road, and there was a bunch of cars stopped.
Some of his siblings didn't make it. He was only a few days old at the time.
You have to give him pet milk for like 10, 11 weeks. So we did that with him. My dad said he wasn't gonna live, and I said, watch, he's gonna live.
Now look how far he's come.
Potty trained and everything. He's 22 pounds.
Nudy loves the camera. You can even find him on TikTok. Dylan Lacoste says nutrias make great pets if you get them young.
So if you get them when they're a little bigger, they'll be really mean and vicious.
Not Nudy. He's part of the family.
Lily Cummings joins me now. Lily, did you expect Nudy's story to garner so much attention?
Definitely not. We had this slated as just a day turn story that was positive, uplifting, something a little different.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, he's a viral sensation on the internet. He's on national news. I mean, it was insane.
Okay, what scared me the most is you were holding Nudy, and I said you're holding him so close to your face. Were you ever worried at all?
No, I wasn't, just because I felt like the family, I mean, they live with him. He's in their home every day, and they don't feel scared of him, so I felt like there was no reason to be worried about it.
Well, he's very famous now outside of Louisiana now.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, he recently was in Tennessee for the Thanksgiving break, and people were taking pictures with him there. He's been on national news, like I said, so, I mean, he's lived quite the year for Nutria.
All right, Lily, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, the heartwarming story of one of our youngest viewers and how his love of the news has helped him find his voice in the world.
WWL.
Thank you. And finally, we were honored to share the story of one of our youngest viewers, 6-year-old Russell Landry. As Leslie Spoon shows us, his love of the news has helped him connect with the world.
It started with a simple email, a grandmother wanting to share her grandson Russell's love of WWL TV. He was adorable, so we put him on TV.
Well, we may have the youngest anchor applicant here on the Eyewitness News.
This is so cute. Take a look. Channel 4 viewer Wynn Landry sent us these pictures of her 5-year-old grandson Russell. She says he's been an avid viewer. He loves reporting the news himself.
WWL.
The emails kept coming and were more and more impressive, so we invited the now kindergartner to come meet the team.
Are you so excited? Who are you going to meet? Kimmo.
Where are we going? What's this?
For WWL.
As journalists, we often find there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that was the case with Russell. He had some developmental delays, but through his family's morning routine of simply turning on the TV, Russell found his voice.
Through him watching the news and him wanting to repeat the news, kind of helped him find his words. It helped him repeat words. It helped him learn to become verbal and really find the words to say what he was looking for.
Russell's mom, Melanie, saw a total transformation.
Yes, come out of his shell, become a whole new kid through watching you guys and, you know, repeating your guys' segments. It was amazing.
Melanie says his village, his family, his therapist, the St. Charles Parish Public School System, everyone knows about his love of the news, and they use that as a tool.
They really have leaned into his interest, and when you capture that interest, that's how you see the progression.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Can you find Chris Franklin?
Russell uses laminated cards of our team to learn all sorts of things. He can separate the boys and the girls. He knows who's an anchor and who's a meteorologist. He's learning whose name starts with what letter.
Okay, what am I writing?
WWL.
Thank you. This method has really worked for Russell. So it was really cool for our #1 fan to see behind the scenes and meet the people behind the cards.
That's me! Big green wall, isn't it so big? Away from to put us up on TV here.
Wow.
There was a lot to learn.
Boy.
Russell with the lingo and the gadgets, and us really remembering it's all about the people. The stories of the day are ever changing, but the connection with our viewers, young and old, is what really matters. A simple good morning can go a long way. Russell may have found his words watching us, but it wasn't the words at all that melted our hearts.
And Leslie Spoon joins me now. And Leslie, how big of an impact has WWL had on this baby? Because he was just amazing.
Huge. I mean, talk about the greatest compliment, right?
Yeah.
We all take our job as a journalist, we take it with great responsibility, but it's just so humbling.
Right.
And it just started off as just emails. The grandma showing me cute little pictures of this kid, and I was like, he's adorable. He loves WWL. Let's get him in and have him meet us, and you know, walk him around the station and show him the weather wall. You know, the stuff kids like. But to actually get to know the family and hear the impact. I mean, he was nonverbal. He had a bunch of developmental delays and some developmental delays, and just started kind of repeating us in the morning, like good morning, and he'd say good morning, and it just opened up his whole world. So it's so humbling. The greatest compliment as journalists we could get, right?
Right. Oh, look, your story is a personal favorite of mine for the year.
Thank you very much.
I absolutely loved it, and I hope everybody takes a look at it. All right, thanks, Leslie.
Sure.
We've brought you many impactful and emotional stories over the past years, and our staff of dedicated journalists pledge to continue to be there for you and fight for Louisiana. For everyone here at WWL Louisiana, I'm Sharice Gibson. Thanks for watching.